Yay! Look, yay. Hello, everyone. Look, give everyone a chance to come on. I am so sorry that we had to move from Instagram to to Facebook because Instagram did not want to cooperate. So we are here now, and I'm so glad that you all are joining. So hopefully, we'll give everyone a second to come in because I am a couple minutes late now. But thank you all, whoever gets to come and whoever does come. So glad you are here and excited about our talk today. So definitely so glad to be able to be here. So welcome, welcome, Facebook family. So good to see you. So happy to be here. All right, my name is Danielle Armstrong, and also known as Danny, and I am here to share with you how to eat more and weigh less. So we're going to talk about calorie density today. So glad to be with you. One of the things I do am excited to share with you about this is that it really did help me lose a lot of weight using this process. So a lot of people have asked me about my journey and what I've done to lose the weight. So this evening we are going to talk about it. I'm so excited to be able to come to you and share. One of the things, reasons why we're here, and welcome again to everyone who is coming in now, to everyone who is um, watching this replay. Thank you so much for doing that. One of the things, the reason why we're talking about calorie density today, because weight loss sometimes can be very confusing. We get a lot of different messages about what it takes to lose weight. I know if you're like me, I tried several different diets, including keto, including um, doing a lot of cleanses. But one of the things that really worked for me was focusing on calorie density. So I wanted to share that with you right now. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you my top 5 tips for understanding the calorie density and losing weight in an easy way. So, first of all, the first tip is understand your calories. Understanding calories is something that's very important because it's really going to help you get a jump start on your weight loss journey. So, one of the things that's important about that is that we understand basically, obviously, calories are used for energy in our bodies, right? And when we have too many calories, our body will store it as glycogen and then into fat. And so what happens is when we find ourselves having extra weight on us from fat, it is a result of an overabundance of calorie consumption in our bodies. And believe me, at over 230 pounds, I understand what that means to have those extra calories lead to pounds on you. And so let's talk about how to get those off. So, one of the things about understanding about your calories is that you really, really need to understand how different foods have different calorie consumptions. So, in the link, I'm posting a link to my blog that has a lot more information for you to actually read through about calorie density. I'm going to post that in the chat right now. And for those of you that are following along, I'll make sure that you have some information on that as well, so that you'll be able to access this and do what you need to do to get more information. So I posted that in our chat. Just wanted you to be able to see how to get to that blog so that you could have access to all the things that I'm going to be talking about with you today. And one of the main things is about the calorie density is really understanding how the range of calories and how some types of foods have greater calories than the others. And let's get a little bit deeper into that now. So, one of the things about calorie density is we try to look at how many calories a group of food or what we're eating is per pound to kind of just give us an idea of what types of foods to consider when we're designing our diet or whatever we're going to eat for the day. So, for example, green leafy vegetables, when we're thinking about a pound, is about 100 calories or so. Roughly, yeah, 100 calories for leafy greens and different things like that per pound. And different fruits are about 300 calories per pound. And when you get, as we go up in or as we reduce the amount of water in our food, we'll notice too that the calories increase. As a matter of fact, we know that our fruits have more water than like our potatoes. So the fruits will be around 300 calories a pound, where our potatoes will be around 400 calories a pound. And when we think about nuts in comparison to those potatoes and the rice and the beans and the grains, which is around 400, 500 calories a pound, the nuts are almost double 1,000 calories per pound. So nuts have a lot of calories. So we have to kind of watch out once we get past the whole grains with the 500 calories per pound. We kind of want to reduce the amount of foods that we do. So imagine this. In my heyday, I was able to, or in my my big eating days, I'm able to eat about 4 pounds of food. I like to have a pound or two, a pound of salad. I love to have a pound or two of steamed vegetables like broccoli or green beans or any of those vegetables. We love to have squash, zucchini. And then I may have a pound or two of potatoes or rice. And that is what I eat on a daily basis to really help me to fill me up. So that's like 4 pounds of food. Like when you go through my blog again, you'll see what I eat in a day there. And a lot of people made comments like, I can't believe you eat so much food. But during this diet, I was really able to do that by understanding the calorie density. So, one of the things that I really wanted us to kind of talk about was, you know, what do you think are some of the higher calorie density foods on the list as we go through? So, think about your normal day and what you eat and the types of foods you eat. What do you think are the highest calories? So, I'll give you a second, see who's posting in here. And once again, thank y'all for being here. But yes, okay. So I see some people said fast food, junk food. Okay, yeah, we're on the right track. And on calorie density, we like to group it according to what the type of food. So, for example, one group is pasta and processed carbohydrates, like our like I said, the pasta, the breads, different things like that. They are, you guys, at up to 1,000 calories per pound. So they're on the higher end too. So we try to keep those a little bit lower on the low end. But really, actually, what is at the top of the list is oils, butters, and other added fat. Now remember, the leafy greens are 100 calories per pound, but the oil and butter is over 1,000 calories a pound, 4,000 calories per pound. So that's what 400 times more than what our leafy green vegetables are. So hopefully that kind of gives you some perspective about what causes us to gain weight. The more oil, the more processed foods, the fried foods, the soft drinks are 1,800 calories per pound. So we're drinking on our fat. So even that sugar, remember, the sugars that we consume get converted into glycogen and then into fats when they're not used. So it's really important to be careful about our calories. So that's the first tip. Really take a look at the calorie density chart and begin to understand your calories. Another tip to help with understanding the calories is to get an app on your phone. I have the Shopwell app on my phone, and every time I'm thinking about consuming something and I'm not sure if it's something that's going to fit in with my way of eating, which is staying at the lower end of the calorie density chart, I will actually search for it on the app. And Shopwell app has a nutrition list for everything, even stuff in the stores. You can scan the barcode and it'll give you the nutritional information about the food. And you can also indicate what foods you would like to eat on Shopwell app as well. But there are many apps that have, calorie or nutritional information on there. But it's really important that you look that up and you look at the calories and the nutritional value, and that'll help you really get a sense of what is appropriate to eat and what isn't. So, my suggestion to you. All right, and choice and tip number two is eat fruits and vegetables mostly. If you add fruits and vegetables, more fruits and vegetables to your diet, and minimize the other things that are high on the list, like your meats, your nuts, your cheeses, your dairy, your soft drinks, your fried foods, and minimize those, but really increase the amount of food that you eat in the vegetable and fruit group, you can really fill up your plate. I remember being able to have 2 and 3 plates for dinner because I was putting a lot of those lower calorie vegetables. At least half of my plate would be the lower calorie vegetables, sometimes more. And then I would also then have some whole grains or potatoes or rice along with my meal as a filler as well. But the majority of my consumption would be fresh fruits and vegetables and steamed vegetables and sometimes cooked fruits as well. So that's my suggestion, is to try to stay away from those processed foods. You want your fruits and vegetables as whole as possible, unless you're doing something like putting them in the blender or changing them in that way, but you want to stay as whole food based as possible. Tip number three is the trick, is learn how to water saute your food. So water sauteing is the key. I tell a lot of people when they ask me, how did you lose this weight? It's because I no longer cook with oil. I don't take any olive oil, put it in the pan, and then put my vegetables in there. You all, this is one of the biggest hypes. And I, please look up the nutritional value of oil. Look up the nutritional value of vegetable oil, of olive oil, of grapeseed oil, of, I'm trying to think all of the ones they say are good for you, almond oil. Just please search the nutritional value and you will see that it's 100% fat. Anytime you add oil or consume oil, you are adding fat onto your body. So please understand that. And to go back to calories again, they equate about a pound of weight to 3,000 calories. So it kind of makes sense that calorie density, if you're staying low on that chart, really helps you. I could easily live off of 1,500 calories a day eating lower on the chart than I could eating higher on the chart. So all of that's really important in understanding what's going on with your weight gain. So, water sauteing involves, instead of using oil, you take a small amount of water, let it steam in the pan, and then add whatever you want to saute to that. So, for example, when I'm sauteing my onions and garlic and getting ready to add in my good veggies, I will definitely just take a small amount of water, let it start to steam up in the pan, and then throw in my onions and my garlic and just saute it as if there were oil in there. So it's a easy replacer. When the water cooks out, you add a little bit more at a time. And that allows you to be able to saute your vegetables just as you would with oil. And I promise you, it as so you are actually tasting the real food instead of the oil. It's to the point now that if I go out to eat, and even if I get their steamed vegetables that they add oil to, I can taste it. So it's really nice to be able to have something lighter and refreshing that you know is not going to make you fat, that is actually really good for you. So please try to stay away from that oil as much as possible, because once again on the chart, as 4,000 calories per pound as opposed to 100 calories a pound for your vegetables. So just be, that's something to keep in mind as you're eating. And like I said, that kind of really makes sense if you look at your diet and really are honest about what you're eating, about why it may be more difficult for you to lose weight. So let's get to the next tip. after water sauteing, it is the seasonings. And hopefully, people are aware that what makes your food taste good is actually the seasoning. A lot of people are more concerned about leaning more to vegetables because they like the flavor of meat. But if you've ever had meat without seasoning, you may not feel the same way. It's the seasoning that makes everything taste so good. So, however you like to season your meat, season your vegetables, especially your mushrooms, and they really will take on the flavor of what you're used to eating on the higher calorie end. So because meat and other meat and dairy products have upwards of 1200 calories per pound. So when keeping on the low calorie or on the density diet, we want to, or lifestyle, we want to stay below 500, which is about where the whole grains and beans end up. So just remember, you can season it any way you like, with all your favorite seasonings. I have a few that I really enjoy using, and have fun with trying new things as well, to see how you can enhance the flavors of your food. Don't forget the marinades. I love to marinate my mushrooms, my cauliflower. I make yummy cauliflower steak. You can do that too. So there's so many things you can do with eggplant, just all the vegetables. So have fun with seasoning your food. And the next tip and final one of our 5 tips is keep it simple, right? There are a lot of times when there are some recipes out there in the whole food plant based world that are really complicated, and you have to blend this and then mix this and then cook this and then cook that. But you can just keep it simple. One of my favorite meals is having throwing some potatoes in the Instapot and boiling them really quickly, and then steaming some broccoli and enjoying that with maybe some sauteed mushrooms and onions on the top. Making a mushroom gravy sometimes when I have the inkling to do that, but just really keeping it simple. Maybe just some rice and some steamed vegetables with a favorite sauce that you like. It does not have to be complicated, right? And sometimes even I'll have some fruit for breakfast or veggies for lunch. So it can be really simple. Just try to do that as much as possible, because that's going to help you maintain this lifestyle, especially if you have a busy work schedule. The last thing you want to have to do is come home and cook a long, drawn out meal. Some people like to prep their meals in advance so they can just pull it out and eat it whenever they're ready. Whatever works for you, just try to keep it as simple as possible. On my blog, I have some of my favorite recipes that I hope you all can try and enjoy, along with some great websites for you to visit, some great videos that give you a lot more information on calorie density and how to make it work for you. I know Chef AJ is one that I follow that is an advocate for this way of eating, and all of her videos and books are great for this. Also to um, Plentiful Kiki and High Carb Hannah. All of them follow some of the same calorie density lifestyles, and have some great recipes for you to use for that. And as a special token for today, I have a bonus for you. And this is a big tip that I think is really going to help you on your weight loss journey. And that is, don't be afraid to have a cheat day. So, in the beginning of my journey, I was really struggling to stay focused because my cravings were beginning to get to me, keep me up at night when I would crave some of the old foods that I really loved, particularly chicken wings, and fried fish. Those and French fries, authentic French fries. Those were that are deep fried French potatoes. Those were some of the things that I really craved. And so I reached out to a prominent psychologist who works primarily with addictions, food addictions, and food issues, and that's Dr. Doug Lyle, who is the one of the authors of The Pleasure Trap, which is a great book that also explains your food cravings if you do have an issue with that, as I do. Um, One of the things that he said was that as long as you're 80% perfect, that you'll still lose weight. And that was really helpful for me. So I was able to add in a couple of cheat meals per week, and that really helped me make it through. And what was interesting is about 3 months or 4 months into having that cheat day, I got to the point of where I was feeling so good eating on the low end of the calorie density chart that I didn't even have those cravings anymore. So I was able to let go of my cheat day. Um, at least with all of those fried foods and things. I still occasionally have a cheat day now, but I don't have as many of the high calorie foods as I used to. So, those are my tips for you on the ways that you can eat more and weigh less. Hopefully, this was helpful for you. If you would like to have more conversations about it, please feel free to DM me. And I have some coaching consultations that we can get on and talk further. And if you would like more information, continue to read through my blog. And I'm going to be doing this weekly where we can come together and talk about topics. And thank you again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.